Hello Freedom Seekers, Jeremy Chambers, Independence Acres Homestead. It's the first day of spring and we've got a lot going on here around the homestead. Stay tuned and we'll show you what we're up to. Well, today's first order of business has to do with that sweet something, maple syrup. We're getting into probably our last weekend of boiling down our sap here on the maple sap evaporator arch. And you know, we're excited that it's the end, but kind of sad. We've got had about a 3-week run here, so we're doing pretty good with that. We're hoping we're going to be able to push that 4 or 5 gallon mark of syrup for the year, so that we are stocked up. We've got that family that we share our syrup with stocked up. We might even have a little bit extra to sell at some of the events we're going to be doing throughout the year. But along with the maple syrup, it's also some pretty exciting things. So let's head over to the bunny barn and I'll show you what's going on. So we had a little bit of a run of, well, I don't necessarily believe in bad luck. I believe in bad circumstances going on here with the rabbits. This has been one of the hardest 8 to 6 months that we've had since we started with rabbits years ago. And the biggest issue we've been having is an inability of our rabbits, specifically our does, obviously, to get pregnant and then maintain that pregnancy through gestation and birth. That maintain the pregnancy all the way through, and successfully birth and not have issues with either not pulling enough fur. It's just been crazy. And then the only 3 litters that we've had actually successfully been able to be born and made to the point of weaning, just really had a failure to thrive. And that's just kind of defined as not growing as fast as we are used to, not having the same luster to the coats, really just not good quality rabbits. And I know that sounds strange, but you know, because in order to have good quality offspring, you have to have good quality stock. Well, we're confident in the quality of our stock because, well, we've produced some amazing rabbits. We've given, sold breeding stock to people throughout Michigan and the East Coast, and we've had, have heard pretty good things about it. So we know it's not a genetics issue. And another thing that we have to think about when it comes to your rabbits thriving is a possibility of parasites or disease. And one of the main ones that rabbits deal with is coccidia. And this is a protozoa, single cell protozoa. That was always our fear, was that we were dealing with that. And we're kind of a little bit of a, over the top when it comes to taking care of our animals. So we're not just going to say, oh, it's coccidia and treat for coccidia, or, call the herd. No. We kind of did the geek spot, the geek way, and we went ahead and got out our microscope, 400 power, stain the slides, and this is what it looked like under the microscope. And as you can see here, there's some cells and fecal matter, but one thing we never saw in any of the fecal samples that we took was the coccidia organism, the single cell organism. And we never had any issues with worms, and so this was a huge thing for us. Why are our rabbits not thriving? Well, we kind of narrowed it down to the possibility of a feed issue. That there were some toxicities in the feed, and that was keeping them from growing and keeping them from just maintaining the conditions, being able to keep the pregnancies through, and the rabbits, the little ones that we had that were just not thriving and even dying off. We only had 6 make it to actual butcher weight, and that was very disappointing. Out of 3 litters, only 6 rabbits. So finally we got our feed changed, and this is our first successful litter in almost 6 months, and we're just really happy. And so a little over the moon about this litter. So you're probably going to be hearing a lot about it over the next couple weeks. So I apologize for that ahead of time. But who can resist cute babies? So that's what's been going on here in the bunny barn. And the quail are finally laying again. We're happy that we're getting some eggs that we can provide to our friends and community and neighbors, so that they can enjoy the bounty of the harvest here on the homestead also. So the sap evaporating is going pretty well today. We've already emptied 4 buckets. We've got our slow drip going on here. Comes down through a copper coil. Probably gonna extend this coil a little bit. It's a little shorter than I wanted. But anyway, it goes through this copper coil here, so it gets up to temp a little bit. and then it slowly comes out here so that as we're evaporating, we're slowly adding back in, rather than pouring in buckets of sap at a time and cooling down the whole pan and have to bring it all the way back up to temp. So it's going well. Gonna keep pushing through on that. And the other project we've got going on today is it's time to clean up the garden. It's spring, right? We've got buckets, we've got planters, we've got holes where the chickens have been digging, and it's time to get this ready to plant. I know we still got at least 2 months before we are ready to actually start getting stuff in the ground out here. But man, it's time. My brain is there, as you guys have already know. If you watch our last couple of videos, my mind is in the mode of getting the garden ready. So the other thing is on the back side of the greenhouse here. Last year, this area right here was all covered in like 4-year-old willow that was drying, and so that we could use it for the sap production this year. That has been done. So now we're going to turn this area into another raised bed for herbs and some plants that we're going to grow specifically to feed to the rabbits. We've got to get these raised beds cleaned up. This one here was our pollinator bed, and this one here was our tobacco bed. So we're going to get these cleaned up. We left these seeds out all winter so that we could allow them to dry. And we're actually just going to be breaking these seed pods from these pollinators back up into this bed here. And then all of these seed pods from the tobacco, we're going to be getting these harvested and put into storage. And maybe just, you know, if you're interested in growing some Virginia Gold tobacco, let me know. And it was successful here in Michigan for us. And maybe we can ship you some of those seed pods so that you can grow your own tobacco. Now, what you do with it, that's on you. That's just how it goes, right? Hey, so that's the plan for the day. So I got to get back, finish getting the syrup evaporated down, and then as soon as the boys finish up their lunch, which seems to take forever some days, when they know there's work to do, we'll get busy out here getting the garden cleaned up, getting stuff raked up, cleaned up, and just making it look like it's ready to plant. So one of the other many benefits of boiling your own sap is you get a good steam cleanse, clean your pores out. Oh, don't breathe it in. Oh, but it does smell good as it's boiling down. So, yeah, you know, it's like a Homestead sauna, right?
It's like a sauna in here.
It's funny. You're a funny guy.
I never heard that before.
So I think the most unhappy people today that it is spring and the weather is so good are the boys. Hey guys, how are you feeling today?
Ow! I'm letting him do all the work.
Now that spring is here, it's time for them to step up their game a little bit. So I've got them out here cleaning up some of the raised beds, our pollinator raised bed. And their task today is to go through and collect all of these seed pods here so that we can respread them in the pollinator bed along with some aster and a couple other varieties of flowers that we have already started inside. There's also some borage seeds in here. Yeah, there's a lot in this bed. Most of it we just went ahead and let it reseed itself. We're going to collect some of these seeds off of you know, these large flowers. Honestly, I forget what the name of them is. This is what they look like when they're blooming. And then we're going to identify them and save these seeds out a little better here. But yeah, this is going to be a good pollinator bed. Boys have already done a pretty good job cleaning up in the garden. They got some old plants cleaned up. Now we just got to go through here and all this mulch that came outside of the bed. We got to, I know, I wish I could blame it on something like, you know, the Ice Age or, you know, icebergs coming through here and pushing it to the side, like, you know, but unfortunately it's just because of our stupid chickens that come in here. Okay, not stupid chickens. Our wonderful chickens that provide us with eggs. They come into the bed here and, you know, they dig around eating all the bugs that would, you know, get into our plants in our garden. So I guess I can't be too mad that, you know, they're doing a service, 2 services, you know, keeping the bug population down and providing eggs. So, okay, not stupid chickens, but I wish they were a little more selective in where they choose to dig. What's that? It's just a flower that didn't fully develop and turn into, you know, create seeds. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, we got a little more to do here, but we really appreciate you guys joining us today. Sap is almost done. Yeah. Ow! Ah! We really appreciate you guys joining us today, just as we go through and prepare the homestead as spring dawns here in southeastern Michigan. Look forward to seeing you next time, and if you got any questions or comments, let us know below. We always love to hear from those who watch our videos. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, God bless. All right, guys, let's get this knocked out.
Oh.